Hello. Thank you for joining us in today's Adult Forum this Sunday, May 2nd. My name is Esther Cianipar. I am the intern pastor at Como Park Lutheran Church. And we have our guest speaker, Deacon Kari Olson, who is a director for Shobi Stable Ministry here in St. Paul, Minnesota. And we just wanted to let you know that because we are Shobi Stable, and we are catering Shobi's food after the adult forum in our church parking lot from 12 to 1 o'clock this afternoon. So grab your meal and maybe we can have some sort of a gathering in a safe way. And so thank you, Deacon Kari, for joining us today. So tell me about Shobi's Table. What's the background? And I love that name, Shobi's.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll begin with that since that comes first. The name came first. Shobi comes from a story in 2 Samuel 17, and the backstory is that King David is on the run and he's in the wilderness. And it's kind of a sad story, but he's on the run from his own son, Absalom. And as they are having kind of a dispute, Absalom is actually out to kill him. And so there's a lot of stress going on. He is having a wilderness moment. And in this wilderness moment, who appears but Shobi, who provides this extravagant feast for King David and his men.
Oh, no.
And there's only like 4 or 5 verses of this in 2 Samuel 17, but half of it is about the feast itself. It lists out grains and beans and meat and oil and all of these things that are just a really abundant feast.
Wow.
So Shobi's Table, our food truck, is all about bringing hospitality to people along the way in the wilderness, in those moments that are really hard. So with that kind of shaping us, Shobi's has been around for 6 or 7 or 8 years. I'm actually the 3rd director of it.
Oh.
It started as a food truck church on the east side of St. Paul, originally to have a congregation of people who knew about life on the streets, who were living on the streets, to have a congregation of people who had the same life experience, but they always gathered around a table. And after a few years, they needed a little pause just to like reimagine what the ministry could actually be. And so when I came along, they said, we give you a new command to do something new. So I found out about this organization called One World Everybody Eats, and they're a nationwide network of pay what you can cafes throughout the United States. And so we got their book, we cracked it open and said, wow, this is exactly what we should do. So it's pay what you can, so that means there are no prices on our menu. And we've expanded the menu to be, we don't have a set menu, but we have fresh meals every week with lots of choice on them that gives dignity to the people who come.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Can you tell a little bit more about Pay As You Can?
Yeah.
So you can you don't have to pay.
Yeah.
But you can just,
Yeah. No matter who you are or what your life experience, you can come to Shobi's and have a delicious, nutritious meal and either not pay anything or pay something or pay a lot.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not even the poor people are supposed to pay nothing and the rich people are supposed to pay something. It's more like everyone should be there, no matter if you have a few cents in your pocket or nothing.
Yeah.
So it's really bringing diverse people around the same table and giving them access to the same table.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have about half our people who don't pay anything and half our people who pay something, whether that's 30 cents in their pockets or a $20 bill.
Yeah.
And it really works, and we need that partnership between those who don't and those who do pay to support this model and actually make it work.
Yeah. I remember there was a family, I think, just got Shobi's meals and then put $100 on the for donation. But there's also like another I think another man too just put $2. I think that's really great. Like, people can
Yeah.
just bring in what they can, for greater good.
Yeah.
So how do you see that sustainable, pay as you can?
Yeah, well, certainly, part of our, what makes us function is getting those donations for lunches. But we also have several ways that we need support. And certainly, a lot of them are around money because that's what makes ministry work. I'm not saying that God is who makes ministry work, of course, but in our world, we do need some dollars to pay the bills and make sure that people have jobs and all those kind of things. We could have a whole other conversation just about that. But some of the revenue streams that we have, there are grants that support us. We're a recipient of the ELCA World Hunger Grant. And certainly congregational relationships, like one we're beginning with you guys, where you invite us out to do some catering for you. And we get to know each other and build a relationship. And so it's not just about sending a check, but we also invite you to come in two ways, to either volunteer with us in the kitchen or be a food truck host. And then also, my favorite way is to invite people to lunch, to come and experience the table that we set and be a part of the community that we're growing.
Yeah, I love it. I think I'm a regular of Shobi's. Now, I want to ask you, what community that you serve, that Shobi's table serve? Like you say, okay, we pay a meal for those who are not able to purchase a meal. Now, who would be that community?
Yeah, so we serve in 2 different places right now, and we will also be adding a third in the summer. So right now on Thursdays we park in Frogtown at Faith Lutheran. And then on Fridays we park in the Midway at Bethlehem in the Midway. And then in June we'll be parking at Christ on Capitol Hill on Tuesdays. So really it's the community that anybody who has a car or can get on the Green Line can come from far away. But we really serve the Frogtown, Capitol area, and the Midway, which is really the corridor along the Green Line. Which has a really diverse population, not only racially and ethnically, but socially and economically, which I'd say is the biggest one there.
And especially if you're in the Green Line, you have a lot of people transitioning, transporting each other from one place to the next. And what times are those?
Every day it starts at noon. We're usually there a little early, so you can, edge your way in before noon. But then we serve until either 1 o'clock or when we serve out. We run out of food. Oh, that's so great. And so you said you don't have set menus. How about for kids too? So do you think about, I'm sure you do, but how do you imagine the menu when you don't have a set menu, especially for younger kids? So each week we get a donation from Twin Cities Food Justice, which is an organization that does the delivery for food that's rescued from co-ops and farmers markets and brings them to places like us that will cook with them. So anything from fruits and vegetables to random things here and there, like we got a case of chocolate milk the other day and turned it into pudding and that kind of thing.
So good.
I'm glad you liked it. But like Esther said, we don't have a set menu. But what we try to do is really pay attention to what is accessible to people. But is also going to provide them nutrition, like really good nutrition that's delicious. So it's going to provide you with what your body needs, but it's going to make you want to come back. So for kids, we really hope that a lot of the things that we serve are accessible to them, like they can kind of know what it is, but they might also be trying a new thing. Like it's like a little education. Like, have you tried a turnip before? Maybe not, but maybe this is your chance, and to see that actually it's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah.
And also, all the things that Shobi's tables use, like the utensils and the cover and
Yeah.
all that is safe environment?
Yeah, we are committed to using mostly compostable materials for that kind of thing so that we can be good environmental stewards.
Yeah, great. Well, if you have any questions or comments, you can join us at our church parking lot between noon to 1 o'clock today. Deacon Kari will be at the truck and serving the meals for us.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us at today's Sunday Adult Forum. Blessings. Thank you, Kari.
You're welcome.